Hi guys and welcome back to another DrAce video, and today we're going to be playing Superbike 22. It's time for round 7 of our career mode. It's time for the French circuit of Magny Cours. So here we are in race 1 in pole position, looking to get a good start here as the lights disappear. Can we get a good start against the AI? Looks like Bautista was hot off the press there, straight into the first position. We're going to dive over the inside of not one but two riders there, Lecuona to the left and Bautista to the right. We just barely made it through it. I've just dropped the gear there for some strange reason. I shouldn't have done that as we now go into the Estoril corner. Bautista there to the left hand side. The Ducati is fast on the straights. Bit of contact between the Kawasaki and the Ducati there. Not the first time we've seen Kawasaki's green on red Ducati this season in Magny Cours. Yeah, let's not say any more about that. But into Adelaide we'll go a little bit deep and we will potentially yield the position to Bautista, but we do hang on. So into the first position, exactly where I wanted to be, and I've got to be honest with you guys, I feel extremely strong here. Back on pole position for the first time since Misano, and now going wide into the 180. Do we close in? Yes, we close the gap. I was hoping we could close the door on Bautista there, we certainly did, but I tell you what guys, I feel fantastic on Superbike 22. All these live streams playing with some incredibly fast riders and just getting better at the... Oh my goodness, what a time to say that, wasn't it? A mistake in Imola corner here in Magny Cours. The bit of a commentary curse, if I do say so. Oh, massive contact with Bautista to the right hand side. Big wheelie for the very small Spaniard. 66 kilos that man is. No wonders that was a massive wheelie. Bloody hell, that was scary for him. But he stayed on board the bike and we do now have a somewhat comfortable lead. So the change of direction into 16-17, bring on the power, we do have a half-second lead. Now this was a strange one here in Magny Cours. In the practice I did about 1 or 2 laps and realised I was quite significantly faster than the AI. Now the bike has been improving a lot. All of my research points I've been doing in practicing qualifying has all been going to power and a little bit to the frame, and pretty much not really touched the traction control or electronic side. And I think this bike is slowly becoming to the calibre of Jonathan Ray's Kawasaki ZX-10RR. It is a completely different beast to where we struggled in the likes of Aragon, Donington, and even in Most at the first round, for the first race of that particular round. I'm beginning to feel that Superbike is where I am now, if this makes sense. I've been playing it so much now that I feel fantastic with the bike, and seeing us beat the AI in practice so effortlessly just reminded me how I was on MotoGP 22. I'm feeling really confident and ahead by half a second ahead of Bautista and Lecuona. This is really looking good for us. It's somewhat foreboding sometimes because the AI looks like they're chasing me down, but here I think the AI lose a significant amount of time in some of these corners. Into the Imola chicane and then into the final chicane, you can gain a good 3 or 4 tenths on them if you get it right. So into the Complex de Lai Chi, we'll then go into the right-hander here and then get the change of direction. Look at the gap after that one. Look at the gap. It's now a second. 4, 5, 6 tenths of a second quicker than Bautista that time around. That is massive. So if you're going to be looking for your first win, Magny Cours could be the place to be. Now I'm not going to tell you it's going to be all smooth sailing because of course I'm still putting in the rest of the lap here. You can't just save it to the final bit, but if you can stay with them or just a little bit ahead of them, you can really gain it there. And even into Adelaide here as we go firm, well firm on the brakes, we'll keep it on, slamming on the anchors, keep it into the right hand side and bring on the power nice and gently. We did gain a little bit of time, not much, but roughly about the same as what Bautista got and a little bit more. So about 1.1, 1.2. If we can manage that gap for the rest of the Grand Prix, then I'll be a very happy man, because to be quite honest with you today guys, I'm not feeling too good. My throat's a little bit sore, got a bit of a runny nose, and I think I've got a cold coming, so if the action doesn't get too intense, I should be able to record a few more videos, but if it does get intense, I'll probably be knackered, so we'll see how things go. But into turn 13, we are still ahead of Bautista by a whole second, pretty good for us right now, and sometimes I don't mind these kind of races where you can just get to the front and start churning out the lap times. They're quite fun, because it's another challenge in itself by just staying focused and staying on top of things. But we now go into turn 15 for the third time of asking. Gonna go into the chicane here, take a look at the gap once more. It's a second as we get the change of direction, pretty good. Across the line, 1.4, 1.5, 1.6, 1.7 perhaps? Not quite, but close enough. So the final sector, the first sector, you can really gain time. So I think this one should be good as long as we don't make a mistake in the middle of the lap. So since we do have a bit of a break in the action, I would like to remind you that if you would like to subscribe to the channel, you can do so now. You can even hit the like button as well to help viewers find the channel, because the YouTube algorithm does its work when the video has been liked a lot. But importantly today, this could be a massive race victory for us. We are quite far down in the championship after the disappointment, well, the devastation of Donington Park, and then Most was a difficult one. We did the Misano test, which I found even quicker. I found we got some more speed, and here in Magny Cours for the practice times, I was killing it. I felt absolutely fantastic with this bike, so getting this victory would put us right back into contention, and it would be our 4th victory of the season, so that is great stuff. Against the AI, which is of course no joke. They are very tough, and I absolutely love it. I jumped on MotoGP 22 the other day, you may or may not have seen the video, and we just dominated them. Power setting 2 all the way, won by a couple of seconds. The Superbike 22 AI are the best. I really enjoy doing battle with these guys here. But breaking now into the complex to live Chi, I'm going to once again ask for your attention to see the gap in the top left hand corner of your screen as we go into the chicane. Beautifully done there. That might have been the best way we've done it so far. And look at that gap. We are dominating. This is brilliant. We did well in Misano, but we were under immense pressure. We did well in Most Race 2, but again, we were under heavy pressure. That's 3 heavies for you there. It was intense. All of them have been intense, really, but there have been some incredible racing from Estoril, Assen, and then, of course, the past couple of Grand Prix, not including Donington Park, because that was a bloody tragedy, disaster, calamity. There's so many words to describe it. It was just an abomination of an effort, and I'd rather not think about Donington Park in the near future, unless it's about the real Grand Prix, because that's amazing. But I wanted to give a bit of shout out to you guys, as well as the riders who have been joining me in the recent live streams on Superbike 22. Each live stream we've done, I felt like I've got quicker and quicker. More confidence, better feeling with the bikes, and just enjoying the game even more than I was doing already as we get a massive moment. Why is it every time I want to speak about how good we're doing, that happens into the Imola chicane? Goodness me. We lost a significant amount of time there, and we were on a very quick lap. Possibly getting into the low 134s there, but I digress on that for now. Just want to get back to the point, because we're doing really well now on Superbike 22. The bike feels fantastic, but I do think it's down to the upgrades. Yes, I am getting better at this game. Yes, I feel better every single time, and surprisingly enough, that we did actually improve the lap time. But I am getting a good feel with this bike now. I love the Kawasaki, and doing that live stream the other day where I solemnly chose just the Kawasaki Ninja ZX-10RR has done me the world of good. Racing against some of the fastest aces such as Sacred Meerkat is really helping my cause to become a world champion in my World Superbike 22 career mode. It could happen. Mathematically, it's still possible. We're a good couple of points behind, but, you know, getting some good victories here in Magny Cours, and if each race is going to be like this, then you could be looking at 62 points for the man on your screens right now, and that would be something else. So, yeah, I'm all for it. The next track we're going to be doing, the next round, will be in Catalunya. From there, we've got Portimao, and then the San Juan Villicum track. So 2 out of 3 tracks there I know extremely well. They could be very interesting. And now I have fought the AI in the hardest difficulty before in Portimao, and we did do okay. We did pretty well. We got on the podium with top rank, but it did have its scary moments. So if we can push Bautista and Lecuona to the limits, and hopefully they have a few bad races, we could still be looking at a championship victory this season. I don't think it's likely, but it's certainly possible. Whether it's probable or not, I guess we'll find out. But probably going to have to start dropping the fuel down, actually, with the Kawasaki Ninja at this point, because we are going to get across the line here and set the fast lap of the Grand Prix. The change of direction, a little bit of a slide there, but across the line, a 1:34.3. So every lap so far into the 1:33s, 1:34s, apologies. That is very good. So dropping it down to power setting 2, we need to reduce quite a lot of power here to keep the bike in. I don't want us to run out of fuel here. That would be bloody awful. But look at that, 2.7 seconds clear from Bautista. Wow, we are doing such a stellar job here in Magny Cours, and I've got to be honest with you, Magny Cours is one of the first tracks I played here in Superbike 22, and I wasn't a big fan. I thought it felt weird, but the more I play this track, the more I'm beginning to enjoy it. I do really like the change of direction. It feels great with the Superbikes. This might, I don't know, this might be moving up on that list I did a couple of weeks ago. Maybe I should have saved that list, but I was keen to do that video, so we'll soon see for the near future. But we are back into the green, let's say, into the plus, so we could possibly move it back up to power setting 3, but I guess we don't really need to. I am a little bit disappointed. I think we are going to drop into the 135s, but I think that can be excused due to the power. Probably should have managed that better throughout the Grand Prix, but here at the penultimate lap as we go into turn 14, it doesn't really matter what lap times we're doing as long as we're ahead of the AI. We've lost around 0.6 of a second, but I do feel we'll get that all back when we go into the final section here. So into the complex to light for turn 15, change direction for 16, change direction for 17, bring on the power, a little bit eager again. We did drop down into the 135s, a pretty bad lap to be quite honest with you, but we still have a big lead, and we still have a little bit of tyre remaining on the SCX, so we still have a chance here. Still using power setting 3, but I will need to drop that down towards the end of the lap. I probably shouldn't leave it too late because, well, we could possibly just completely run out of fuel, so need to be smart about this. But going into the Adelaide corner here, I was going to say, yeah, hairpin, I was going to say hairpin, that's right. Sorry, my commentary's not right up to scratch today, a little bit tired, not feeling particularly well, but we're doing alright. So we're going to have to start dropping this fuel down now, drop it down to 2, and hopefully then we can still get a good lap time in, even though we are still dropping the fuel. We might have to drop this to power setting 1 actually. That stayed in red. I was hoping that would go back into the green, or at least the normal colour. We're going to have to really pay attention to this one now, but we're still setting a good lap here. 2.5 of a second down to our fastest lap set earlier on, but into power setting 1 we are neck and neck with the fuel here. 0.1. 1.4 is the gap to Bautista. Please don't tell me that I've just messed this up. I've got a little bit carried away with a few things here, but I think we should be fine. Here we go into the final corners then. Braking roughly around the 150 metre marker, if there was one, as we now brake into 15, keep it in nice and tight. The gap is down to 0.7 of a second, not quite ideal, but change of direction in 16-17. We are victorious here in Magny Cours, and we are back on the top step. So there is the achievement unlocked. Victory, triumph at Magny Cours. So it's Grant finishes ahead of Bautista, and Iker Lecuona finishes on the podium in 3rd place. So now guys, pay your attention to the SUPERPOLE session, wait for the lights to go out, and away we go. Power setting 3 this time around, of course no messing around with power setting 1. Quick change of direction, could we do it again? We can't do it again, it was almost a carbon copy of the first race here, but the change of direction into Estoril, Bautista, Lecuona taking over, and I dropped it to 1st gear again. Another mistake coming into turn 2, but into Estoril we'll try and bring on the power, hopefully use the slipstream of Garrett ahead of us, and then try and attack Bautista and Iker Lecuona. And look at the speed we're getting now. The power on this bike is fantastic. Power setting 3, upgrades to the power part of, oh god, Bautista thought he fancied going around the outside there into Adelaide. That would have been a bold and brave move. We do hold him off, and we now recapture 2nd position, but we'll get into the right hand side into the Nürburgring, and I can finally get back to what I was saying. The power being the most upgraded part on my bike, so the engine parts, also having a package which delivers more power is really helping me. I've been quite fortunate, to be honest with you, with the packages. If you watch the winter test, or excuse me, both tests really, but the winter test, we did focus all on package A, I think it was, or package B, I don't really remember, and it was all about power. Yes, the tyre life is bad on these bikes, but if it's all about the power and the engine upgrades, you have a chance to take victory here in Superbike 22. But we'll now go firm on the brakes and try and pressure Ika Leguon ahead of us. It's the D1 tyre at the front and the SCQ on the rear, so we don't have much chance here with the SCQ, but look how we closed in into the final sector there. That is brilliant. Absolutely fantastic against Ika Leguon, who's ahead of us. We're going to go to the left-hand side, and that is a 1:35.429. Of course, a standing start, so it's still actually not that particularly slow, considering it was a standing start, but we've got to push back into those 134s. We get to the 133s, I'll be really happy, but we need to focus more now when attacking Ika Leguon. He's ahead of us by a couple of tenths of a second here, and now as we go into the Pirelli bridge there underneath Adelaide, look how firm on the anchors, up on the inside. Have we got it stopped? Not quite. Went past him pretty quickly there as we now get caught onto the outside of the circuit, and we're going to try everything in our power to regain it, and what a mistake that was, just bringing on the power too early. Trying to regain that position that we lost to Lecuona. We now get into turn 8 for Nürburgring there for that corner. We absolutely flew. Look at the gap we've taken out of Lecuona on this one. We are taking chunks away from the Honda man's lap time right now. Goodness me, absolutely brilliant. The gap is plummeting down now, but it's also plummeting behind. Bautista's back in the fight as we get the change direction for 13. Difficult corner to get right, but so far we seem to be doing okay. But now on the right for Chateau d'Eau. Don't fancy Bautista launching a lung up on the inside like a crazy Hadouken. But thankfully, he didn't. And I feel like we could attack Lecuona here. Look how much we've closed in into the complex to Lai-Chi. This could be the move coming in here. Look how much time you lose in this particular section. Look at that. Up on the inside. Beautifully done. Is that the key moment? Have we dispatched of Lecuona at the right time, or have we gone too early? The SCQ tyre is getting battered here, and I don't really want to be saving well, at least saving an attack. I want to get through and start moving ahead away from Lecuona. Never mind, he's up on the inside. We had a slight twitch there just to correct the angle, because I didn't want to jump into him there because I didn't really like our chance of staying on. If he bumps us that angle, and that lean angle is not going to be good. But firm on the brakes, we'll go for Adelaide. Can we get it stopped this time around? Oh, Lecuona's there and he fancies a lunge. He's pushed me wide. Look at that egregious move from the Honda man. He wanted to get through. He made the move. He made us get out the way. So beautifully done from Lecuona. But now we are on the back foot. This is not how I envisioned the SUPERPOLE race to go. But look at that change of direction up on the inside of Bautista. Now to the left-hand side. We need to defend and attack at the same time. Keep it in, keep it in, keep it in, keep it in. Up on the inside. Beautiful. Absolutely brilliant into the 180 corner. Grant takes over at 2.5 tenths of a second lead. Lecuona in second with Bautista in third. And Razgatioglu, he's charging up as well. Is he going to get involved in the battle at the end? Jonathan Ray in 8th. Not looking good for the man who's almost leading the charge for Kawasaki. We might actually overtake him in the championship lead after this one, so we'll keep an eye on that. Well, there is Garrett Gerloff in 4th as well. Seems to be where he's favouring to be this weekend as we drop down to power setting 2. Now, oh, look at Lecuona up on the inside. Absolutely stunning move for the man on board the Honda, but I'm going to try and fight back. I can't do it. I knew if I wanted to go for my correct line there, I was going to struggle. So giving back the position because we don't need to overtake people when we're cutting corners there. But that was a bad lap for us. Dropping down to power setting 2 may have not been the smartest decision of mine there, but I just don't want a replication of what we had earlier on. But Bautista, he's dropped off the podium, ladies and gentlemen. Gerloff is looking for maybe his first podium of the season, but look at the speed we got there, coming out of Estoril, now into the golf corner, now into Adelaide. Are we the last of the late breakers? It looks like it. Tell you what, oh, that's firm on the brakes, that's a bit too firm. But we go into Adelaide and we do hold on to the position, and I've got to be honest with you, really shocked at the lap times in this one. I did a 1:33.3 or 1:33.4 as my pole position. Look at that, another mistake coming in. The D1 tyre in the SCQ has not been a good decision. There's Lecuona who wants to get up on the inside. Technically, I should yield the position since I kind of cut the corner there. But those lap times are abysmal. I did a 1:33.4 to get the pole position. That is significantly slower. That really crazy stuff here. But look at this battle that's brewing now. Into the Imola chicane we went, and we managed to secure the position. Chateau d'Eau, we still have it. 0.2 of a second. It's going to go under Lecuona and Bautista. Oh, the Gerloff has been bumped off the podium right at the worst possible moment. We're going to go firm on the brakes. Is this going to be a safe victory now into the SUPERPOLE session to take the SUPERPOLE for the next Grand Prix? It certainly is. Across the line, big wheelie for the fans. We take another victory, our 5th of the season. So quick recap then, guys. Lecuona in second with Alvaro Bautista behind. Crazy to see that we actually finished a second clear with both of them. That was a lot more intense than that gap shows. So now on to the final race of today. This time around SC1 SCX tyre. The red lights are out and away we go. Lecuona from second. That's a good start. The man on board the Honda, Garrett Gerloff, wants to get involved, but Lecuona goes wide and we retake the lead. Brilliantly done into the ground curb there, and now into turn 2, turn 3. Don't downshift because we made a hash of it both times around. We're good. We are good and we are getting away with the lead. Brilliant stuff from us. This is exactly what I was looking for, and I tell you what, this could be the second triple of the season. Not often you can do the treble in a Superbike session, but we could be doing it here today. Race 1 victory? Yes. Race SUPERPOLE victory? Yes. Race 3? Yeah, we'll find out. We're going to find it out now with Race 2 rather, not the British Superbike style of Race 3. We're into turn 8. And now into turn 9 for the 180 degrees corner. Got to keep it in. You can go wide there and bring it in, but bear in mind, if you go wide, you do set yourself open for attacks, and we all know that AI like to attack, so just bear that in mind if you are going to go for the wider option there. Probably better to do that if you were attacking rather than defending. But onto the brakes we'll go then for the complex the Chateau d'Eau. Getting ahead of myself here. With 0.5 of fuel, might make that 0.6. We could consider dropping it down to power setting 2, just every now and again in some of the occasions we don't need it. Certainly something to bear in mind, but into the Lychee we go. There is Bautista closing in. They have really got on it for this round. They've changed their mind. In the first race of this particular round, for round 7, they were really sluggish, really slow. This time around for the SUPERPOLE, and now this one, it's a different story. Maybe they race better on Sundays rather than Saturdays. But into the right-hander, the Restoril. Only 7 laps remain of this round here, the French round here in Magny Cours of Superbike 22 in our career mode. We need to look to the Pirelli sign and brake nice and early before it so we can get the right stopping power. Alpine Stars boots out. We've made a mess. I wanted to get that right, and I made a mess. Bautista temporarily in the lead, but not enough to dispatch of the number 11. Firm on the brakes you go in the shadow there, and then keep it in nice and tight. Change direction for the Nürburgring. It's a little mistake again. These are too many mistakes. I'm not happy with this gameplay. I hate making mistakes. It looks ugly, and I begin to criticise my own work, and I don't like that. Got to stop cutting the corners there, making those silly mistakes. But again, using the bridge as a guide, and when to start braking, sliding the rear in ever so slightly into Imola. Keep it in, keep it in, keep it in. Beautiful. And we need to get early on the brakes in. You do too late, and there's not much of a run-off for the sense of the track there. You run straight onto the gravel and pretty much call an end to your Grand Prix. But the gap is still 0.2 of a second. Bautista not letting us get away with it, and you never know. He could have a lunge if he fancied it, and that's what we've got to be careful of. One lunge could send us offline and could cost us the race, so just be very, very careful. But across the line, a 1:35.619 for us. It was a 1:35 low again for Bautista, but it's Andrea Locatelli in 7th position with a 1:35.135. Possibly someone to consider for a race podium, maybe victory. I guess we'll find out as this race progresses. But so far, it's 0.4 of a second quicker than our lap time, which we set just a lap ago. Now into the Pirelli braking point there. I like to use the bridge as mentioned as we now go firm on the brakes. Bit of a weave on the circuit, and look at that. Tight as you like. 0.7 of a second. We were up temporarily then. I think that was just the timing screen catching up, but we'll go firm on the brakes once again into the bridge. Keep it in, keep it in, keep it in for the Nürburgring. Keep it to the left. Beautifully done. This time around, no metaphorical slap on the wrist. Into the 180 degrees corner for the left hand side for turn 9. Keep it in as much as you can. Change of direction, but when you bring on the power there, be very careful you don't wheelie it. Just be very careful. I've noticed I've done that a few times as we now go into the bridge for the right hand side. So looking at the top 8 as it stands, 2 of those are big hitters in the championship right now. Bautista in second and Lecuona. These guys are already at the top of the table in that order. Gerloff looking to get himself further up. Razgatlioglu not having the best of races. I expected more from the Turkish rider. Hafiz Syring having an absolutely astonishing race there in 6th. Brilliant stuff from the Malaysian. Locatelli in 7th, and Philip Ertl in 8th. Philip Ertl was very, very keen to get involved in Mazzano. Will he be doing the same any moment now? He could certainly find himself up there, and there is a bit of a gap brewing on the left-hand side of your screen. Check out the graphic into the bottom left. Certainly a gap and a bit, breaking up into certain segments, so it's going to be us and around, what, 6 riders all fighting for the victory here? This is how we like it, but we do have a second advantage, and of course we did set the fast lap of the Grand Prix there, a 1:34.897 for the man on your screens right now. Feeling good in Superbike 22, feeling good with the Kawasaki Ninja ZX-10RR, and feeling pretty damn fine here in Magny Cours. So guys, I do hope you're enjoying this one so far. If you are, be sure to hit the like button and consider subscribing as well. But even into the Nürburgring corner we'll go. Into the left-hand side for the 180 degrees. We are improving the lap time again. It's marginal, but it's an improvement. And the only interesting point here is, well, not the only interesting point, I think the whole thing is interesting, but we need to focus on the one thing, and that is either matching Bautista's times or beating them. As long as we do that, we're going to have a race to victory here in Magny Cours, which would be our treble victory of the race and our 6th victory of the season. If you ask me, how many victories do you think you'll get this season in Superbike 22? I don't think I'd say 6. I think I'd probably say a little bit less than that, but wide into complex line. It's not a problem though. We've managed to recover. Quick change of direction as we go into the chicane. Back across the line. Oh, damn, dropped into the 135s. Bit sluggish since the first race. We did a lot better in race 1 than we did anywhere else. Maybe those first time blues were not there. But now, since we've won, we're beginning to get a bit nervous. I think we did the same in Mazzano, if I remember right. I felt more pressure trying to get the 3rd win than trying to get the 1st or 2nd. It's all manufactured by myself, of course, so just gotta be careful and stay calm, as always. So guys, if you do want to get involved with those live streams I've been doing in Superbike 22, then certainly let me know in the comment section down below, and even better still, be there at 6 PM GMT or BST, I can't remember which time zone it is now, but I'm pretty much live every Sunday, or at least have been for the past couple of weeks. So if you're interested, let me know, and most importantly, turn up so I can see you and we can have a good old chinwag. And if you're on PC, find if you can get a chance to play Superbike 22 Sunday, of course. You can find me online and you can join me and play in our lobby together, so bear that in mind, and you can race against the Ace if you want to. So now into Imola. A little bit too tight to the apex. I actually thought we were going to get another track limit warning. I'm not too concerned about the track limit warning. We've had one, which was a bit of a mistake, of course, but at this point, I don't think we're going to accrue 4 more. If we do, then I'll be embarrassed. But firm on the brakes we'll go for the complex Delight-Chi. I noticed on the last lap we didn't do very well into this particular corner, but this time it's a thing of the past. Quick change of direction, beautifully done for 17 across the line. It's an improvement, a 1:34.7. 1-1 for the man who has 1-1 on his bike. And the 1-1, of course, is a champion times 2, I guess, because you've got 1 and a 1. Hopefully that'll be the case in Superbike 22. So out of the Estoril corner, we're going to keep a wide line here and then bring it in nice and tight as we keep go for the wider one and then keep it in tight for the next part. Wait for the tight part here. There it is. I'm going to get tighter and tighter, bring it in tight, really close to the outside of the circuit, and bring on the brakes for Adelaide for turn 5. Not as tight as I did it earlier, but I tell you what, that's still a very, very good entry and exit into Adelaide. That is what's the term I'm looking for? It's a scary corner. It's an intimidating corner. That's the word I was looking for. It's a very intimidating corner. Don't fret. Don't be scared. Just brake before the Pirelli sign and you'll be alright. Give it everything you've got. Plenty of rear brake, a lot of front brake, and gradually get that bike stopped into turn 5. But I tell you what, guys, I am really enjoying this Grand Prix. Now, my enjoyment of Superbike 22 is not just winning. It's about enjoying the racing. So in some of the race like we did in Most, I wasn't getting the best of positions until race 2. That was a fantastic race. But I was enjoying the riding again. I was beginning to really enjoy it. In Donington Park, I was really embarrassed and I felt like I absolutely messed it up in that one, but I just couldn't compete with the AI. But this time around, we've got a totally different situation. The bike is much, much better. I'm enjoying this. I really am. And whether we were fighting Bautista or 2.1 seconds ahead up the road like we did in race 1, I'm having a good time, and I hope you guys are too, because that's all that really matters. But into the penultimate lap here, I think we've got this one done. I'm going to drop the fuel down a little bit and try and make sure that we have enough to at least conclude the race itself. And there is one thing I'm really looking forward to here as we now go into Gulf and then into Adelaide. And that is the championship advantage for Bautista or Lecuona. Oh, big mistake going into Adelaide. Oh, don't let it drop now, goodness sake. Don't mess it all up now. We almost have done. 7/10 of a second is the gap. But I am really, really keen to see what the championship lead will be for the whomever it is. I think it's Bautista that's leading. I don't know what the maths would be, but I think I might be within 40-ish points. That's doable. That's certainly doable. We were looking very bleak after Donington Park. I think I was about 60, 70 points behind. Very, very concerning. We have a chance here. We really do, and I'm just loving this. Yes, we just made that mistake into Adelaide. Whoa, the bike snapped on me there into turn 12. It really snapped. Goodness me, I'll have to be very careful of that. I'm still using a lot of rumble stripping. I think that's a really great thing about Magny Cours. It's one track where the rumble strips feel really good. And I think it's only just occurred to me how good the curbs are in this circuit. It's the only one you can actually trust. Look at that over the Complex de Lichi. Loving life here in the French circuit of Magny Cours as we now bring on the power to start the final lap of the race. And please don't look at that lap time. At 1:36.169. That is feeble. That is not good. I don't like that lap time at all. We're certainly going to have to improve upon that one before we end this one. So if we can, power setting 3 all the way. Smooth gear, smooth throttle control coming out of Estoril for turn 3. Bring on the power into Gulf, bring on the power, and then get ready to brake early for Pirelli. Looks pretty good. Into Adelaide we go, sliding the rear a little bit upon the entry. Good stuff. Really good stuff. 6/10 of a second ahead of the Spaniard behind. The 37-year-old Spaniard is looking menacing, but I don't think he's going to be menacing enough to really put us up onto the pressure points here. I think we still got it. 2/10 of a second up on the previous couple of lap times here, as you can see on the top right hand side of your screen. This should be another victory. This could be the third one of the season. Could be crucial for our championship contention. I may have to drop it down to power setting 2 because that fuel is dropping fast. But looking as we get the change direction in 13, the gap is 6/10 of a second. This should be it. This should be it. Power setting 2 it is, just in case. I think we've got this one done and dusted, ladies and gentlemen. You know how good we are into the final chicane. This could be it. Into the left-hand side. Prepare yourselves for turn 15. Looks to be pretty solid stuff right now. Steel yourself for a magnificent Matt Grant victory here in Magny Cours. It's beautiful. It's another wheelie. We are victorious in Magny Cours, winning all 3 races. So we do win the race ahead of Alvaro Bautista and Iker Lecuona. But standings of the round so far, full maximum points for us. Alvaro takes 2nd and Lecuona 3rd. But show me the championship standings, and it is Bautista leading the way by a single point ahead of Lecuona. But look at us there in 3rd. Top Kawasaki. Brilliant. Ahead of Jonathan Ray by about 12 points, actually. We're looking good. We are looking really good. Top Brit as well, I'll take that. Well, let's have a look at the Constructors' Championship. Kawasaki actually still leading the way. 7 points clear from Ducati, 19 clear from Honda, 32 clear from Yamaha, and BMW behind by 209. So guys, that is it. Thank you very much for watching the French GP here in Magny Cours. I do hope you enjoyed. If you did, let me know in the comments section down below. If you really enjoyed, be sure to hit the like button and consider subscribing, and even consider joining the Discord server with the link down below. So guys, thank you very much for watching. It's been a pleasure, and I will see you in the next video. Ciao for now. Oh hi! Didn't quite see you there. Good to see you're still here. If this video didn't quite set your appetite, then why not watch some more DrAce content by clicking the video shown on screen now. Furthermore, if you would like to follow me on social media, you can do so now with the links down in the description. Consider subscribing so you don't miss a single DrAce video.